Greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome in today for the 81st episode of the Podwans podcast. I'm your host, Char J, joined by my co-hosts Luke.
Hey, how's it going?
And Hereth Productions.
What's up, everyone?
Hope everyone's having a great Thursday night. Today, we're going to be talking about Season 2, Episode 15 of Star Wars Rebels, also known as The Call. We're going to be seeing a lot of Ezra, the introduction to the Purgles, and much, much more. And we got one newcomer on as a guest. So, Luke, Hereth, we ready to get the show on the road?
Yep, absolutely. Let's get it going.
The Jedi Knights are all but destroyed, and yet your task is not complete, Inquisitor. The Emperor has foreseen a new threat rising against him. The Podwans Podcast.
And we're back. All right.
Still love that intro.
I know.
That's the coolest shit. Like, shout out to Hereth and Chris for
yeah.
putting
Shout
that
out
together.
to Star Wars
pretty
lawyer
awesome.
For making that beautiful Vader intro. Thank you so
I
much.
still got to reach out to Chris about one more thing. Include it. Article of Senate intros.
Yeah, that's right.
But anywho, we're going to be bringing in our newcomer on for our show. This is her first ever time on our podcast. She's not been on for Clone Wars or Rebels.
But she has been on They Fly Now. That was her first ever.
She has been
on. It's technically a Podwans production.
Yeah,
now.
It is a Podwans production. I forgot about that.
Yeah, so Hereth is familiar with her, but her introduction to podcast is right now. Let's bring in a fellow Rebel enthusiast, Ragan at Ragan Bridger.
Hi.
Hey.
Hey.
So glad to have you on for Rebels because I think the first time I ever scanned through TikTok, I found your stuff and I was like, yeah, gonna keep that in the back of my mind once we get to Rebels. Gotta have her on. So,
Yes.
Ragan, thank you for coming on.
Thank y'all for having me.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Where can the good people follow you on the social media?
You can follow me on Ragan Bridger on TikTok and Twitter.
There you go. Go follow her there. But so this episode has to do with a lot of connecting with animals and creatures, right? So if you could connect with any animal or creature, either in fiction, in any space ever, or it could be like a real animal, what would it be and why?
Oh goodness. I think I have to say a love cat.
There you go.
I love love cats. They're like one of my favorite Star Wars animals ever. I just love them so much.
That's a good choice. Hereth.
Are we specifically saying just Star Wars or anything?
No, anything.
Oh, House of Dragons, easily one of the dragons. And House of Dragons. I'm just like Force Connect, and then I'm in.
Okay. All right.
Containment it.
I was also gonna go that route, but I will reveal that in a little bit. Char.
I'm gonna say I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this correctly. It's the elephants in Lord of the Rings. It's called Mumakil.
The Oliphant. Yeah, the Mumakil or the Oliphants. Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Imagine me just riding one of those in a battle. That'd be amazing.
Dude, those are legit. Like the way they make those animals so intimidating in Return of the King is just absolutely fantastic.
Yeah,
I love that.
So I would want
to
have a connection with one of those big boys because that'll cause some damage.
No, yeah, absolutely. I am gonna go with Balerion the Black Dread or Vermithor from House of the Dragon.
We all knew you were going Balerion. You basic.
The biggest dragon in all of Westeros was the.
I thought you were gonna say Balerion or Vagar.
Ooh, Vagar is another good one. No, actually, I would do Rhaegal. Actually,
Ooh,
Rhaegal. I love Rhaegal. Ragan, have you seen Game of Thrones or anything like that?
I've seen Lord of the Rings, not Game of Thrones. I have not seen that yet.
Okay, so basically all those are dragons from the if you see the Targaryens, they're the ones that ride the dragons in Game of Thrones.
Because
we're talking about
dragon.
Yeah, so that's what we would be taming is dragons. We'd be basically Targaryens with force sensitivities, so you can't stop us. Just saying.
Nope.
Penny said dragons. Seriously, do I need to give a reason why?
No.
Chase said Squidward.
What?
Oh, by the way, okay.
Troll.
So we were talking. I don't remember who I was talking to, but we were to keep it on SpongeBob. So if you really think about it, Squidward is a better friend than Patrick.
Oh, 100%.
100%. It's so weird because
I want to hear the argument for why. I mean, I relate to Squidward more as an adult, but I want to hear why.
Because Patrick is a moron. Like, he doesn't think about anything. Whereas Squidward, yes, he's kind of the party pooper, but like he thinks things logically. You know what I mean?
Yeah. To segue back into our question.
Well, you said Squidward, so I was just
Yeah, because Chase said it. But Pat said, do the wild Zords from Power Rangers count as animals? If not,
Yes.
Pegasus. Pegasus are cool.
Ooh, Pegasus.
Pegasus.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my god.
If we were good in real life, I'd say Luke.
Jesus.
Luke, I'm not saying you're an animal, but you're a little bit crazy.
God dang it. Nice name.
Ungoliant, so I can get over my arachnophobia and freak everyone else out. Oh,
Ungoliant. Ungoliant is a
I'm
spider
assuming it's a giant spider.
from the first age. She no, not the first age, the Year of the Trees. If you know your Tolkien lore, she's the big.
If you're about to say the spider from Return of the King, I'll just have a different interpretation of his entire conversation.
Hold on. So, the spider from Return of the King, Ungoliant is Shelob's mother.
I'm so glad you know the name of that spider. Proud of you.
Hey, no, Luke, the reason why I say that is because of Shadow of War and just the whole thing on top. I'm just like, why?
Yeah, that interpretation is
interesting.
It's awesome. The lore around it, not great. Not solid. Can't keep it on 2 feet. But anyway, Ragan, we always ask our guests, we have this little thing where you just give us a description of this episode in two or less sentences, and they can be funny, you can be serious. Do you want I'll go with Hereth first so that you get kind of the idea of what's going on. Hereth, go ahead, give me one.
All right. Mom gets PTSD from little animals that come on the road. And dad and son and the rest of the family go investigate.
Okay. Char, you want to give one?
Ezra or kid loves going to the zoo, and angry man wants to protect his cargo.
All right, Ragan, go ahead, give it a shot.
Oh gosh, this is gonna be bad. Space whales come out from the unknown, and then mom just has problems throughout with these space whales.
Yeah, I like it.
Spot on.
I like it. First time doing it. That was a good one.
I really had to think for a minute. I was like,
No, yeah. I never do one because I'm not creative and I can't think of one. So
also because Alanis banned the word Gen Z.
Exactly. So now we go into my section and we're gonna talk about the story. Delay. All right. As everybody so eloquently broke down, shut up, Chase. Finally exits her space. Jesus! God damn it, you animals! Oh,
Herman Melville is crawling in his grave.
Oh my god. All right. Well, as you guys all said, this is the episode with the Purgles. The Rebels crew is being sent to find a fuel center for a pickup for the Empire. And we run into the Purgle, which Hera is not a big fan of. But Ezra has this sense about them. He has this feeling that we should trust them. Throughout the episode, Hera and Ezra are kind of at odds. Kanan is also in the mix as well. He is on Ezra's side. And it ends up turning out the way they want it to. Hera gets a new perspective on the Purgle themselves because she hasn't had, like Hereth said, great interactions with them because she's had some people die from accidents and whatnot, but Ezra really turns it around. Long story short, they get the fuel, they blast off, and the Purgle are now very central to the entire story, even though we don't see them until season 4.
Arguably the most important episode of Rebels.
It really is. It's so funny how that happens because because literally you don't think about it. Like it's when it was airing, that was 2 years ago. That was 2 years from season 4, right? So it's like you have all these times. Everybody remembers Twilight of the Apprentice, but then you have this episode where it's just like you think it's filler, but it's really not. It does a lot of character growth for both Ezra, a little bit of Kanan, but mostly Hera and Ezra for sure. So my first question was the story. At the beginning of this episode, we see how Hera obviously does not like the Purgle. But by the end of the episode, she changes her mind about them. How do you think this affects how she leads Phoenix Squadron and the Rebels moving forward? Anybody?
I'm waiting for Luke to pull a teacher and just cold call somebody.
All right, Hereth, go.
I knew this was coming. I mean, again, she talks about how like a lot of Purgles like caused the death of people in hyperspace before, and how that helps that. And then also this gives them fuel because remember they're running low on supplies, and the Ghost crew is the Ghost itself was barely functioning this episode. Like they could barely put the heat on. It was like terrible. I remember making the joke while watching it of like everyone was like giving like the Last Jedi shit for like having fuel, and I was like, this episode came out like a year before, but nobody said anything. But okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I was laughing at that, but no, yeah, it does affect the Rebels a lot because it basically gave them like a second life. Because without this episode, the Rebels movement would have been dead.
Yeah.
Because they wouldn't have any ships, they wouldn't have any attack, nothing would have happened. What we see in the saga.
Yeah, Ragan, your thoughts?
I think it really changes like Hera's perspective, kind of like on how she leads like the Rebel Squadron and everything. Like she was just when she saw the Purgle, she was like kind of like having flashbacks like, oh my gosh, I know what these things have done. But then Ezra like showed her the way, like, oh, anyone can like change. We just gotta like trust them a bit and stuff. And that really goes forward with Hera, like leading the Rebel Squadron and like trying to put their best foot forward throughout the entire fight.
No, yeah, absolutely. Char, before I put my 2 cents in, what do you think?
Well, I mean, like as what Hereth said, then the Purgles played such a big role in pushing the story forward because Hereth, not Hereth, Hera, I get that confused. Yeah, Hereth is discouraged by them because I mean, Hereth doesn't even say their name right in this episode. So I mean, that just shows you that she just does not give a crap about these majestic animals. But what they do to push the story forward is so beneficial because once we get later on into Rebels, they play a big role in the finale. But yeah, with their presence and what we discover between the Purgle and Ezra, I mean,
no,
Ezra's perspective
not happening.
is a lot different from Hera's.
Gender
wait, no, go one comment down. There we go.
Hereth is not a space mom. I'm sorry.
No.
If anybody's a space mom, it's Alanis. Alanis is a space mom. But no, you're absolutely right though, guys. When I thought about it, kind of like what Ragan kind of touched on, like Ezra as a leader, right? You can't always think about your way or the highway, right? You have to, when you're in a squad or you're in a team or anything like that, and you're expected to lead, good leaders listen to those that are around them. You know what I mean? They can't just go one way. Like getting a different opinion about certain things usually helps a lot of situations and you get a different perspective. And I love that they showed that, especially with Ezra, because he is force sensitive. He is making connections. And that leads into my second question. We see Ezra connect with creatures in the past. Lothcats. And I can't remember what the species is.
The big giant creature in season 1.
Yeah.
The cat bat looking things. But how is this connection different than those other instances? Ragan?
Okay, so in season 1, when thinking about like when you asked that question, I think back to like season 1 when Kate was trying to teach Ezra like to connect with things around him, but he was like he didn't feel trustworthy and like he didn't even care about the cat. He just didn't trust anyone at the time. But looking back now over like the episodes, he's finally like trustworthy. He can trust these people and he's willing to open up to them. So that's really different with the Purgle. Like he wants to help them. He wants them to live and everything. And I really love how that really builds all the way until season 4 also.
No, yeah, it builds on his, like, just like you were saying, he is now able to hear the Purgle when nobody else can hear them. Like that's a big thing. Like his force sensitive, like that gives us a look into how much his force sensitivity is starting to kick in, because it's like he doesn't have to try as hard to connect with the Purgle. And I feel like when they bring them back, it makes so much sense.
Well,
Because that is besides the Lothcat, is the one that he is able to connect with the easiest.
I would say this one's different just from the season ones alone, because yes, the bat affected the mission of like the Grand Inquisitor battle and gave them time, but it made Ezra tap into the dark side. I think this is different because there'd be times where the ghost crew's going one way and Ezra's like, no, you have to do it like this because the Purgles are connected to the gas, they're connected to the fuel, they're connected to this. If you do it this way, you screw everything up. Or like my favorite one is like when Hera is like trying to fly against the Purgles. It's like, no, you have to fly with them. And like just like the different like ways, like again, like you said, going back to Hera being a good leader, like Hera is like, no, I have to listen to Ezra. Ezra's saying something. Kanan's feeling it too. Let's go. Like let's trust our team.
No, yeah, absolutely. Char, your thoughts?
Yeah, and I mean, at this point in time, Hereth,
It's gonna be so confusing for audio listeners.
Ezra is finally is still tapping into what he can do in terms of his force powers, because we've seen him have great feats before. Because the first time we do it is when we see him and Kanan face off against the Grand Inquisitor. That was the first time we really see him express his powers. Now we're diving deeper, not just to only his combat skills, but in terms of his connection and what he can connect to. Because very few people can actually connect with animals. I mean, Anakin could connect with animals. Ezra could connect with animals. Rey could connect with animals with the Vexus snake and everything that came around that. But it's just so cool to see that there's only a select few amount of Jedi that can possess specific powers. It's like force psychometry, being able to connect with animals, being able to heal, being able to do all of these cool things. And I'm so glad that Ezra, being one of the main factors of Rebels, is able to connect with these animals. I mean, later on, we see how deep that connection with creatures is.
Yeah,
And
the wolf wolves.
this is the focal point.
Catalyst.
This is the beginning of something bigger, because he
yeah.
he doesn't just connect with Purgles. Let me just tell you that he does not just connect with Purgles.
My last question is one that I just thought of. Are we going to see the Purgles in any other media? We got a mention of them in Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah, but are we gonna get in? We gonna get them in Ahsoka? Are we gonna get them in a novel?
I don't think we're gonna see the Purgles in Ahsoka. I think there's a high chance. There's like a possibility we could. I think we're definitely gonna hear about them, because there's no chance we don't hear about them, because it's kind of important. You know, Thrawn's kind of got dragged away by one of them. I think it's kind of an important plot detail.
Yeah.
So what I think will happen is, so for Ahsoka, they have to show, because in Mandalorian season 2, when they're on Corvus, and Ahsoka asks the magistrate, "Where is Thrawn?" and they're going to immediately jump to how Thrawn and Ezra and where they went. So
I would love.
We're immediately going to see a Purgle. They
okay.
have to show the Purgle, because that's such an important plot point with where they go.
I forget.
That's what everyone's asking. Where is Ezra? Where is Thrawn?
I forget what episode of They Fly Now we said this on, but Carter and I said, I would love Ahsoka. This is not going to happen. I'll just say this right here. I would love for Ahsoka to open with, like what Ragan said. Imagine a cold open, fades to black. You see the hyperspace ending right there. Jumps to hyperspace, and then you see the aftermath, what's happening. You see like Ezra and Thrawn like fighting, and it crashes into the ground, and like you see the whole like what leads to that, and then it just cuts to black, and then it's like it tells you like 9 years later, and then it cuts to what Ahsoka's doing.
Babe, Callus is not in this episode. I'm sorry. But he will be in, what is he in next week's? No, I don't think he's in next week's either. 2 weeks
Well,
from now. Don't worry, you'll get your
You get the Zeb and Callus episode where they're all buddies on a planet when
Yeah,
Callus
'cause
breaks his
buddies.
leg.
Yeah, because we've got Cham Syndulla coming in next week.
You get 2 Hereth episodes back to back, essentially.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. But that's gonna be it from my section. Char.
All right, let's dive into the lore of the Call.
Don't be too proud of this technological terror you've constructed. The ability to destroy a planet is insignificant next to the power of the Force.
And here we go. So the lore of today's episode is called Animal Powers. Woohoo! Get excited, go crazy, get stupid. All right. So in this episode, we are introduced to the Purgle space whales. One of the obvious features of the Purgle is that they possess the ability to jump to hyperspace. And in Star Wars, many different animals have special powers. Lothwolves are force sensitive. Rancors are very powerful fighters. The Azalamiri can prohibit force abilities. And there's so many different animals that possess such unique powers that make them much more dangerous than any other animal that exists.
Question: Do
What?
the Yusam Vong count as a creature?
Well, they're legends, so I'm
Or
not
they-
counting that.
Not canon, Luke. Sorry.
Well, no, I was just asking because we were. I would have thrown that one in there as well, but they're.
I wouldn't have
also
considered them
species.
animals, but
Okay, all right, just
Well, I
making
mean-
sure.
Should we, Luke, by that logic, do you consider the Grisks animals?
I don't know. I don't know, Hereth. Are you alive? Okay, yeah, you're alive. You're good.
Yeah,
anyway.
so like I said, the Lothwolves are force sensitive. The Rancors are extremely powerful fighters, and the Azalamiri can prohibit force abilities. Those are the few of the animals that exist out there, and even the Nexu, the cat that scratches Padme in the arena, they're able to see like thermal. They're able to see like heat signatures of people around them. But if you were to take one animal from Star Wars and give them a very, very useful ability or dangerous ability, what would you give them and why?
Ooh.
So you got a lot of animals to work with. You got Rancors, you have Lothwolves, you have Acklays, you have Reeks, you have Vexus snakes, the one from
Ooh.
what Ray healed. You have all of these different species. You have a Hapabor, that thing that was drinking out of the trough with Finn. You can do anything.
Man, that's a tough one.
That is.
What about the? Okay, hold on. This is gonna be a funny one.
What I know Chase is going to do, he's going to do a Minoc, but it's going to be extremely inappropriate. I'm
Kowakian monkey lizard for sensitivity. You're welcome.
Oh no! Why are you giving Alanis fuel? Why are you giving her fuel, Luke?
a force-sensitive Kowakian monkey lizard?
Why,
Dude,
Luke?
Why not? That'd be
You're
cool as
you're
shit.
giving the bestie fuel.
I mean,
Yeah,
if you,
why not? I
but,
give her
you know,
full fuel all the
also-
time. What are you talking about?
look, what would be more dangerous though is the Kowakian monkey apes
That though from resistance,
fuck,
from resistance.
Yeah.
or
That's
Kowakian
right.
ape lizards
No,
from
wait,
resistance.
hold on. What about the lion-looking things in season 1 of Clone War, or season 1 or season 2? I can't remember what. It's where they're on the ice planet.
Oh.
Those things
Yes.
for sensitivity. That
I
would be
mean,
awesome.
you could do Gundarks, you could do
Whoa,
Minox,
Luke.
Fearnox, you could
You
do,
just gave me inspiration
Shield
for
Birds,
mine.
You can be Weeshocks, those spiders from Fallen Order. You can do whatever you want.
Give Salacious B. Crumb a Glock.
Yeah,
Jesus.
I was gonna say, Luke, you gave me inspiration for mine. Imagine the season 2 Geonosians, but with force sensitivity.
Oh,
Oh.
Jesus.
Talk about a zombie apocalypse in the Star Wars universe that would never end.
Talk about Last of Us. That would be scary.
Yeah, but imagine that with force sensitivity.
Oh my
Uh,
god.
That's fair. That's fair. That would be
Pop-
scary.
the Star Wars galaxy would be done. It's over.
Yeah, it would be. Ragan?
There's no saga.
Okay, the person who just commented, I was like thinking of the monkey, but like they mimic voices. I was literally just thinking that in the comments that popped up. I was like, yes,
It was Pat, right? This one? Yeah.
yes. I was like, yes. That'd be funny.
No, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
You're just in the market somewhere and you just hear a random voice like, what?
Yeah, they're able to like it's like a parrot, but it's like it doesn't sound like a parrot. It actually sounds like the people that they're mimicking.
Right.
That would be creepy as hell.
I just imagine like that, but like the Palpatine scene in Rise of Skywalker. I have been every voice you have ever heard inside your head.
Inside your head.
Yeah.
All cats, laws that can cut anything.
Oh.
It's violent.
Oh.
Okay, Jay.
Jesus.
I knew he was
Not the
gonna
love cats.
Womp rats just so that they can float instead of scurry.
Those are some pretty good ones.
So Pelimoto's just getting attacked, and they're just like, ah!
Oh god. I just imagine it like a planet just like full of these things, and you just look up in the sky and it's just like thousands of them, and you're just like, oh.
Oh.
So
Oh.
Luke, you said yours, right?
I too quacky monkey lizards with force sensitivity and the tiger looking things from what episode? Oh, it's the one episode that Hereth didn't watch and basically bullshitted for the podcast.
Oh, the one where they go to the snow.
Yes. Those
That
tiger
one?
things are badass as hell.
I love how I basically. Okay, this is back when Podwans had a different format. You could guess an
Or
episode.
that tiger from Tales of the Jedi.
Oh. Yeah.
That's a good one. That's a
That's
good one.
That's a good
That's
one.
a very
I'm surprised like you just didn't go with the
Bigger
resistant
teeth.
ones because it's just a monkey with lizard that's just massive.
No, that's too easy. I want Salacious
That's
B.
too
Crumb-
easy.
I want Salacious B. Crumb to have that and just like run around and just like be able to force push people. That's scary as shit. You think Michael Myers walking down a hallway? No, it's the and then they just like force push. Oh, that would be the
Wait,
coolest-
now you're making me think Ewoks is force sensitivity. Why are you making me go that route?
Oh my god, that's another one. Holy shit. What about a Wampa?
Oh god.
Not
Or-
a chameleon. Like
Luke, I think
James
Char. I'm
Woods.
surprised you didn't go there.
So it's
No.
Big Randall.
What about
Is that you made it noise?
and what about I just thought of it. Not Gundarks. What's the thing that they ride in Empire? I'm just blanking.
The Tauntauns?
Tauntauns.
Oh.
What about if a Tauntaun could talk?
Really? Out of all the things you could do, you want them to speak?
Hey,
You
just
may
think
never
of
know.
think of the Robot Chicken episode where it's like, dude, did you hear about Larry? Oh yeah, man, he didn't make it out alive. He died out in the snow. Oh my god, that's such a good episode.
Well, Kenny kind of took mine. I was gonna say crate dragons, but actually make them dragons.
Oh.
Char, I'm surprised. Char, I'm surprised you being the Boba Fett person, you didn't go with a Rancor.
Whoa! So when Kenny messaged that, I was thinking about another one, but I was gonna think like a gigantic mythosaur, like a way bigger mythosaur.
I was thinking Mythosaur too, but I didn't know what to make it with.
A mudhorn with a horn the size of a building. Yes.
Imagine if you could tame a Mudhorn. That'd be
Oh
pretty
my
sick
God.
to ride in
Yeah.
battle.
You could feed a lot of Jawas. Let me tell you that.
Watch it be Mando season 3. We just actually spoiled it somehow.
Ve-
Well, all you guys
Ven-
make these nightmare monsters. I'll be opening a school of the Loth Wolf Witcher School when they're when these damn things get out of hand.
Man.
nice.
Yeah, Joe's gonna be running a zoo with a bunch of just overly absurd monsters.
Oh man, that's a
Give
good
a
one.
Wampa the ability to rap. That'd be fun.
Oh
God.
Oh
Jesus.
gosh.
Jesus.
Imagine,
Yeah.
imagine a Wampa with a New York Yankees hat on.
Why? Why?
We'll call him Womp Z
Wompsy.
instead of
Yeah.
Jay Z. It's Womp Z.
Oh my god.
Just like
And that's it. That's the end. That's the end of Pod Once. It's been a real nice run. 81 episodes.
Oh
Rancor with wings. By the way, it's in Legends. That was actually a thing.
yeah.
They gave
What?
Rancors wings.
He had
Why-
wings?
Why? Okay, why am I not surprised? Someone could be like, "Oh, this happened in Legends," and I'd be like, "Yeah,
Some
that tracks."
Backtrack.
it's some
Yeah.
ancient Dathomirian magic. on those
Well, I
rainbow-
mean, also you also have to remember Luke Skywalker could literally manipulate a black hole.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
But-
true.
Char.
Oh, we got to bring up the banner.
Yeah.
Oh, great! It's been a
Let's
while.
bring it up, Luke.
Wait.
All
There you
right,
go.
so Brooke is in here. We have to every time she's in here, we have to shout out her website and her store, farfarawayfactory.com. You can find Star Wars merch, DC merch, Marvel merch, and much, much more. You can find shirts, sweatshirts, earrings, stickers, and everything amazing that she makes over at farfarawayfactory.com. You can follow her on TikTok at _bdazzler_, and you can find her on Etsy, and her Instagram's at farfarawayfactory. She makes amazing stuff. I know Luke and Hereth both have a few shirts of her. If you want to just show,
She
go
also
ahead
did.
and,
She also did custom Jordan shoes
Shoes.
for me.
Shoes.
Yeah, she does
did-
shoes as well.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
That's-
she did Vader for me on these white Nikes, and they have like all the quotes from certain movies that he's been in. The
Yeah.
shoelaces are kind of dirty, but yeah.
Brooke said, "What a nice ad." I don't even write any of this shit up. Well, I think because of that, you have to give us 5% of the store.
No,
revenue.
No,
No,
that's not how that
no,
works. That's not how economics work.
5%.
no, we don't want to. No,
Come
we
on,
don't do that.
it's free real estate.
I just imagine like audio listeners think that like Brooke has us tied up and has a gun pointed at us, like say the ad.
Say the ad now.
Promote my
Show it.
stuff.
This is just the friendship task.
But no, yeah, we've been doing this for a while now, but you
Yeah,
know,
absolutely.
Brooke's been
And
Brooke's been a
she
great friend of ours, and she
Yep.
has been amazing whenever she's come on here. to
No,
talk about
wait,
anything.
no, I
And
take it
she's a
back.
Boba Fett fan, so
Brooke,
for her.
because now I can say this because Brooke got to that point Walking Dead. Brooke's Negan. She's just walking around with a bat, being like, "All right, talk about it."
yeah, yeah. No, she basically is. But yeah, she's also going to be doing I think she's talked about doing commissions for things later in 2023, so be on the lookout for that. She's done the shoes. I commissioned her for another thing, and
Okay, hold on. This is
Dumbass.
the
Luke,
perfect.
just pull up the clip.
roll.
We need to grab a guillotine and find whoever made that
That's the
question.
You're under arrest, you piece of crap. You ain't never getting out of prison.
Hereth, Ragan, so a little bit of context.
Yeah.
So for Padawans, once a year, we do a Star Wars trivia tournament. And there was one time where Hereth was working on our question doc.
Can I add some my
And-
context to the story as well?
Yeah, after
I do. So what he decided to do was he added a round 3 question. So round 3 is the final. Like you pick a number from 1 to 20. You pick 3 numbers from 1 to 20, and one of them corresponded to New Hope. And the question was a Legends question. It was what was like the deactivation code number for the trash compactor,
and
it was like an 11-digit number.
It's never been mentioned.
He put that, and then Brooke was so
And
mad.
then that
And
happened.
I don't blame her.
Oh
So
my
therefore,
God.
Literally, I had never been sweating more bullets in my entire life. I was like, I didn't write it. Neither did Char.
Yeah,
We don't know who
So-
did it, but we're gonna give you a different question because that was
Oh my-
bullshit.
yeah.
Oh
So the
my
tournament, will be
god.
the tournament will be planning on coming back this summer. So Hereth,
Yeah.
please don't mess it up.
Okay. My context of the story was there was 3 questions that wasn't on the doc, and they were supposed to go in 5 minutes. So
That is fair.
I had to think of something really fast, and that was the best answer I could do. Also, I was pulling from another doc. I was taking inspiration from another doc, so I blamed that doc over there.
No, that's
my
very true. It was very fun. So yes, trivia tournament may be on the lookout for that.
Yeah. So
But yeah,
we'll be looking for a few new competitors to
Yeah,
be
absolutely.
coming to participate. We'll be having a decent amount of returners, but we will be adding a few names to the list of people competing for.
I'm actually really
trivia
excited
belt that
for
we,
this season than last season. With
that
stuff I
Evan
know.
Steven currently, has his grasp on. So
yeah,
everyone wants to win the trivia belt. You know.
yeah, it's pretty
The
awesome.
trivia belt.
It's
Mm.
pretty awesome. But Char is at the end of lore. Kind of got
That's
off
it.
topic.
Yeah. As we move forward, if you want to go ahead and keep on, if you want to name an animal that you want to have a specific superpower or kind of an ability that makes them more dangerous or viable or useful, go ahead down below. But without further ado, let's dive into the interconnectedness. Hereth, let's roll.
In my experience, there's no such thing as luck.
Hold on, before we start. What if we did a voiceover? There's no such thing as interconnectedness.
Who would do the Alec Guinness Obi-Wan? Like, we got Christopher Vader. Who are we going to find?
We'll find it. It'd be hilarious, though. There's no such
Like,
thing
that sounds like
as
Liam Neeson more of an Obi-Wan.
In my experience, there's no such thing as interconnectedness.
That's Chase. That's just Chase.
Hey, if you want to do a Boba Fett voiceover, I got you.
Okay.
There's no
Anyway.
such thing as law, my
Oh,
friend.
All
that was
right,
pretty good.
Hereth.
Okay, I'm getting thrown off by Chase again, but I'll just ignore that comment over there.
Yeah. Let's just let it go.
So, in this episode, obviously we see the Purgle's deep connection into hyperspace at the end of the episode. In season 4, we see the Lothal Wolf's connection into hyperspace. In the High Republic, we see lightsabers being connected to hyperspace. Obviously, with them like activating the ship going into hyperspace. So, I've seen this asked before, so I'm going to ask it here. I want to see everyone's opinion on the board. Do you think hyperspace itself has some connection itself into the Force? Yes or no? And
Absolutely.
why?
Absolutely. Ragan, go ahead.
It kind of does, because like it really shows throughout like the Loaf Wolves in that episode when they were like entering through that tunnel and everything, and you see the connection the Wolf Wolves have with like Ezra to Kanan, and just like it's basically like the galaxy, and that the Force is everywhere, and like hyperspace is like everywhere. You can go anywhere and anytime through hyperspace, and that's what the Force is. It's binds us. It's all around us, and
Literally.
Exactly,
But-
Hereth. Yeah.
That is
Exactly what I was going to
literally-
say. That the Force is everywhere. It is involved with everything that is in the galaxy, and for it to not be included is just impractical because the Force and it exists everywhere, and everything, everyone, and everything you touch has something to do with the Force. So yeah, I think that hyperspace traveling is a big deal, and I'm sure if we can bring a Santec on here, I'm sure they would vouch for that too.
Well, yeah, think about it that way, because a lot of the Santekas are Force sensitive.
Yep, in the High Republic. With
And
Mari.
they're
Yeah.
the pioneers of hyperspace
Yeah.
traveling. So
Yeah, absolutely. So
Because-
we'll begin to make things right.
Yeah, because of Mari Santeca in Phase 1.
I hate that quote. I
Why?
hate that.
Why?
Well, because the way toxic fans use
Because
it.
Yeah, because
Uh,
of the
Hey,
way the
Max
Toxic Fan-
von
yeah,
Sydow was amazing.
it basically was like, we're gonna right the wrongs of the prequels of why everybody hates the prequels. That's the way a lot of fans
Took that
take
line.
took that line.
oh,
Yeah, it's not my favorite line, but I've come to just be like, that's not what it is. But like a lot of people just can't look past.
Well, when you
that
take the line and you use it outside of the context of Star
Yes.
Wars, rather
Yeah.
than you're
Yeah.
using it for reality,
yeah,
because it's the meaning behind it is for Star Wars, not for outside
Yeah, yeah.
sources.
right, yeah.
no.
Because you're taking
But-
it the wrong way, and then you're.
But back to the question, absolutely, for hyperspace is part of like the Force itself. Like Kenny was saying, I kind of agree with this. It's we're passing through it. Like we're
Yeah.
like the hyperspace that we're seeing is just the visible Force that you're going so fast that you're actually able to see it. It's like when you're in a plane and you're going so fast and you see like the air go over the wings.
Well, they talk about in the
Well-
High Republic, there's pilots in that era that would prefer to get computers out of their systems, and they fly only using the Force.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely. I mean, the Wayseeker, the Skywalkers from the Thrawn Ascendancy.
Yes, the Chiss
trilogy.
Ascendancy, because they don't have hyperspace lanes in the unknown region, so you have to have a Force-sensitive child take you through places.
No, yeah, absolutely. It's a big thing. I think I've always kind of believed that hyperspace is very connected to the Force, and that's why Force sensitive beings are able to travel through hyperspace because they can see things because they are within the Force. It's almost like they're in the world between worlds, but not really. It's like they can sense. That's why Vader in Alliances is able to direct the Chimera through certain hyperspace lanes because he can sense everything around him. It's like him being in the center of what the Force is.
Going back to the High Republic, Mari Santeca with the path and like taking them through back alleys, because like they say like I forget, I think Charles Soule said this in an interview, and I actually kind of agree with this hyperspace analogy. Hyperspace lanes are your highways. You're like you go like on the highway, you go all the way down. Your paths in the High Republic is like your back alleys. You're going down like the roads and going like the second path. That's like how I view it.
Yeah, like gravel roads.
Yeah,
basically
you're silted around the highways. Yes, and then there's your main path.
Yep. Yeah. So I love that question. That's a good question because I feel like a lot of people don't think about. They just think, oh, hyperspace is hyperspace. But like if you think about it from a story standpoint, it does make sense that hyperspace is just another Force sensitive thing.
I mean, I think Rebels kind of establishes that and kind of sets that question up.
No, yeah, absolutely it does. Absolutely. Anybody else got anything to add about hyperspace?
Well, I mean, what you said about hyperspace travel, I mean, yeah, I think that is like you can see the Force around you, and I think people tend to misunderstand what the purpose of hyperspace is. Hyperspace isn't just and it isn't speed, it's like a dimension that you're traveling through.
Yes.
You have to hit a certain speed to hit into that.
Yeah.
It's like there's like a process to it. It's like you go really fast, you go into like the dimension, you go through the lane, and then you pop out on the other side. But it's not instantaneous.
It's like traveling the as fast as the speed of sound. You know what I mean? It's like hitting that sound barrier.
You have to hit it to get through it.
You have to be hitting a certain velocity to hit that to break.
Which is why in Last Jedi it works because it was perfectly lined up right before the jump.
Yep.
So it's
the hull don't remove.
Hit one ship and then the debris just went. Boop, 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 boop.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. But
if the Purrgil and the Loth Wolves prove anything, the Force travel is possible. Other characters call it hyperspace. I mean, that is kind of true. I mean, the way that because I'm pretty sure the Purrgil don't just like travel in hyperspace. I'm sure they have like their own like, you know.
Well, we see it because they get like they're like it moves in
their fins, their tentacles and stuff. They
glow.
They glow. As they're getting ready to jump into hyperspace.
Yeah, but would you even call it hyperspace? Would you? I feel like you would keep the term hyperspace just for ships.
I mean, technically, they are using hyperspace because that's the only reason how any of the I just saw Chase's fucking.
Yep, I saw it. Just ignore it. Just ignore.
Like they are technically using hyperspace though, Char.
Yeah, I know, but I wonder if before hyperspace was discovered, they had like a separate term for it, because I'm sure that there were people out there that were aware of the Purrgils, but they weren't sure like, oh, that's hyperspace, but hyperspace didn't exist. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because back to like this episode when Hera was like talking about the Purrgil with Ezra, she said like people were inspired by hyperspace by the Purrgil. They were inspired by it. They didn't have a really term for it and didn't know about hyperspace until they actually saw the Purrgil.
Yeah.
No, yeah, absolutely. But it's time for Char's other segment.
3 interesting facts about a certain Rebels arc that you didn't know about until now. Part 19, The Call. Fact 1, Ralph McQuarrie is back at it again. The design for Boss Yushin is based on a rough sketch of a bounty hunter alien that Ralph McQuarrie illustrated during the production of The Empire Strikes Back. Fact 2, I don't have a title for this one. Anyway.
Charles is pulling this one out of the asteroid.
Char doesn't have history. Interesting fact.
Okay, fact 2. Oxygen in weird places, I guess. The lack of external air, external air tanks, the hero's mask suggests that the asteroid does have a breathable atmosphere, but the Clausen 36 needs to be filtered out evidently, Yushin and his Rhodian crew can breathe it just fine.
Man.
Fact 3, the name of the head Purgle. In the script, the lead Purgle was referred to as the Purgle King. And there you have it. Those are 3 interesting facts. About
Char, this
The
is giving me
Char, how did
flashbacks.
you? Char,
Okay,
Char,
'cause
did you
it was a
forget
hard
the second
title.
one?
What am I doing? Just like, oh, breathable air. How am I supposed to make that interesting? Okay.
Hey, also, Char, this is giving me flashbacks. You used to do Godfrey and how to rank all your Godfreys. I'm not ranking your 3 interesting facts now.
Okay.
Ragan, you don't get the reference, but Char used to do all of the beginnings of like the Clone Wars episodes when Tom Kane would talk. He would do them as Gilbert Godfrey. Those were the days.
What a time.
What a time! And I used to rank it, and Char used to get really mad because I would always rank it really low.
Well,
But-
I mean, the next time that'll ever happen is when we do Bad Batch, which will be a while from now. Probably will be a year from now.
We actually have to talk about what we want to do after Resistance, but we'll talk about that offline.
Hey, Resistance!
I'm so excited for Resistance.
Yes!
So excited.
There you go. So Ragan, this is our ranking system: bad ensign, okay lieutenant, good captain, great admiral, and chef's kiss, grand admiral. Ragan, what is your ranking of this episode?
I think I would say great, because like this like builds off to like other episodes, but also it helps with like character development with Ezra, with Hera, and has more into like the Force, because I feel like within some Rebel episodes we get more background on like the Force and connections with some animals. So I really enjoy this episode every time I watch it. It's like one of my favorite episodes because it's just like, yeah.
No, yeah, absolutely. Hereth?
I would say, I'm leaning towards like the middle point between Captain and Admiral. It's like this weird, like, I'm gonna lean Admiral. Yeah, I'm gonna lean Admiral.
Okay.
It's close.
Char?
I'll follow the trail. I'll go with Admiral because I think that one of the best points because Hera. Why does Chris always come here whenever we do the rankings?
Yeah.
He is notorious for trying to skew the rankings. Remember the one
Flash.
time on
Ahsoka episode.
yeah, where he was like, "Oh, Padawan." I'm like, "Oh, unbelievable." But I mean, that's his prerogative. But I think that Hera has a really good developing moment in this episode with her understanding that, you know, you can have like a preconceived notion of something, but it can always change, and understand that, like, hey, you may not like the Purgle, but there's a much deeper connection that involves with them. Oh, Chris, I have rehearsal.
Yeah, he's got a show coming up. If you're
that's right, yes.
If you're in Detroit, go check out Star Wars lawyer Chris. He's in a play. Don't ask me what play it is. I'm sure he'll put it in the chat. But he
Also,
is
he'll probably
in-
put it on his social medias as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So go check out Chris. I'm gonna say Captain because it's a interesting episode. Not my favorite episode, but I enjoyed it.
Okay, cool. And then we have Kenny who says Admiral. We have Pat that says Captain. Joe is requesting if we can put it in Vice Admiral in the middle ground.
What would that be in between
Admiral and Captain.
Captain and Admiral.
We will workshop that. We will workshop that.
I don't know. We've always been used to 5 different.
Yeah, that's
rankings.
true.
Number 6
Yeah.
would be weird. Also, like it's like
6 is a weird number.
Yeah.
You know, it's not great. Both of you to assume I'd promote me singing. Well, you would. That's you, Chris. We know you. But yeah, that's gonna be it for episode 81. The Call. Ragan, thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate it, and we can't wait to have you on for more Rebel stuff. But where can the good people follow you again on the social medias?
You can find me on TikTok and Twitter for Ragan Bridger.
Awesome. Hereth?
I was gonna say before we like end this episode, can we just acknowledge Chase over here? So he's like, "Thank God it's over," and then he goes, "No, keep going."
I'm telling you, Chase is the as our friendly troll over at Rogue Council Podcast.
Even though Rogue Council doesn't exist anymore.
Nope.
Rest in peace.
Nope.
Well, my response to that is no. Keep going.
Anyway, you can find me at Hair Productions on TikTok and Instagram, Hair_edits on Twitter, and here on Pod Ones.
Char J, where can the good people find you on the social medias?
Good people, you can find me on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram at CharJ, as spelled right here. And you can find me here at the Pod Ones podcast every Thursday night as we cover our Star Wars Rebels rewatch. Next week, check us out for season 2, episode 16, titled Homecoming.
And you can find us at the Pod Ones on all social medias. If you haven't yet, if you're new here, hi. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications so that you never miss any of our content. We have all of our Bad Batch reactions out. So if you want to go watch us react to the first 5 episodes of the Bad Batch, that's here on the channel. If you want to catch up on Hot D or Lord of the Rings or anything like that,
Last of Us.
stay
Kenobi.
or Kenobi.
Not Last of Us. Why you say Last of Us? We're not doing content for Last of Us.
Yeah, we're not doing content for Last of Us.
Well, if you want to ask Luke anything about it, I'm just saying. I'm kind of just saying
Hereth?
words.
You mean Hereth? Hereth knows more about The Last of Us than me.
I know everything that's gonna happen in the show because I played the game.
Yeah. But anyway, be on the
And
lookout.
also check us out in a month for Mandalorian reactions.
Yes, Brooke is doing a after every episode. She's doing a Twitter space. Don't ask me
And
what time
also,
it is at.
don't forget the Streamline stuff.
Oh, and she's doing every Monday night. She's doing rewatches of the. Episode.
Is this episode just us promoting other people's stuff at the end?
Brooke,
Brooke.
cheddar change. We need some cheddar cheese here. $3.
5%.
French,
No,
5%.
no.
No. 25% off the store.
No,
Yeah.
no. Actually, no. I demand something else. Drink in London.
Can we turn this? Are we turning into Shark Tank? We're like, hey, can I
Yeah,
get 5% of your company and like a whatever
5%
stake?
of
Yeah.
the profits.
5%.
No, that would no.
I do.
You can.
Hey,
Oh yeah,
that's capital. That's capital. Yes.
All right. We get $1. We can split that into 25 cents per person. Well, actually, no. We could do no. Yeah. Well, no.
All
right, I'm not gonna do
We'll
that.
split.
Math.
We'll split 33, and we'll give Atlantis a penny.
Yes, the best get
All right.
some of the cut.
Well, if you guys wouldn't mind liking the stream, we'd really
like.
appreciate it. But that is gonna be it. On to the next one for Light and for Life.
We are all the Republic.
And may the force be with you.
Always.
Bye.
See you guys.